Good afternoon, everyone. This is Jared Rand, and welcome to the Global Guided Meditation Call for January 17th, 2020, Friday, 3 p.m. Eastern. Have you begun to understand the way that we push life? I don't think that a lot of us are aware of it, but when we push life, it pushes back. And that's one of the reasons why I concentrate a lot on the fact that you go with the current. You let the river or the stream take you wherever it may. And we find, and this is pretty much, if you do this yourselves, you will find out that it is much, how do I put it, easier on how things roll. When we don't push life, and it doesn't push back, and we just go with it, things work much more effectively. They're much easier on us. They aren't as stressful or as pulling when we literally go with that. The more we push our way through this life, it's very true, the more the world pushes back. And when we allow life to be as it is, or unfold as it does, it feels more like the river is carrying you instead of you trying to carry the river. And it is, we all have, wishes and dreams that we really desire to have come to be. But I think a lot of us will push it. We try to hurry it. We try to, get it going faster because we want things faster and we want things quicker. And instead of just embracing life, that it is just a wonderful experience. And it's like the old Doris Day song, "Que sera, sera, whatever will be, will be." And this way, it releases us in a way. I've met people in my journeys in this life where they just say, whatever comes, whatever flow I'm in, I'm grateful that I'm in it. I never fight anything. I don't try to push things, hurry things. You ever notice that when you get hurried or you get anxious, and it seems like it was a long time ago that you engaged something and you start thinking, well, why is this taking so long? And why is this not happening when I want it to happen? And, it should have happened this time, and it hasn't happened this time. Why is that? And we get frustrated and irritated from that. And again, that's our ego mind dictating to the heart mind. And this has to be front and center all the time with us, because if it's not, then it gets buried. And we go in that same direction of trying to go upstream, fight upstream, claw, scrape upstream. And then we did some a week ago, and it seems like we did it months ago, and it hasn't come into fruition. And so we get irritated and frustrated. And then what does that do? It literally attracts more of the same. When you get to the point in your life where the river is actually carrying you, and you know that you're in a way, this might sound contradictory, but you're in the driver's seat. Okay? You're just going right along. You're not interested in being distracted. You're in the flow, and it is good. It's a good energy feeling, a happy feeling, and you don't have as many stressful cares or concerns, and you lose that fear, that apprehension, that your confidence is low, and we sit and I don't know, and whether I should just go with this or not. What if this happens? What if that happens? What do I do if this goes? And it's just a constant barrage of thoughts that we embrace through the ego mind, causing us to second guess ourselves. And how many times have you experienced where you worried about something that you said, okay, you were going to do, and you were concerned that it might have been a wrong decision, and yet it ended up coming out just wonderfully fine. And then you say to yourself, I was stressing and worrying and fearing about it all this time, and it ended up just fine. And the reason that is that the ego mind continually tries to direct you, okay? And even though it is not a organized structure, because it's everywhere, it's flailing around every which way but loose, so it's not in a disciplined direction. So when we understand that this life is basically a natural expression, we are just flowing with it. We don't have these huge expectations of ourselves or anything else. We are just basically just really grateful that we're in these bodies and we're just going with the flow, and we let the river carry us. And we don't fight anything. There's no reason to. When you really do understand the fact that the universe is your just a stupendous friend and ally. Source creation is part of you because source creation created you out of deep eternal love. And you are part of the universe. And the universe engineers everything perfectly, divinely, without exception. Now, the collective consciousness is a little bit different because we are part of the collective consciousness. So consciousness creates everything. And where does consciousness come from? Consciousness comes from source creation. Okay? And it's all consciousness of all things, of all that there is, ever has been, ever will be, ever, beyond, and forever. It is everything. So that's why I say that there will come a time where each of us will come to the understanding that if you want to create a universe, you can. You want to create a solar system, you can. You want to create a galaxy, you can. We view things that on size, say. We think because something is, humongously large, that it's, there's, and then something that's small has nowhere near the effect that something is large. But you understand that a marble can hold a galaxy. Size has no variance, no real meaning, just on how we view it from our physical perspectives in this physical world. So this is how we've been trained to think. Say, that's insignificant because it's small, it's tiny, it's minuscule. How can that have any power? There are elements in this universe that are about, they take up as much mass as the head of a pen, but you could not lift it because its density is so great. It's like a speck of sand, and its density is so great, you could not lift that. You could not pick that up off a surface. Say. So we're trained in a lot of different things to think of different ways, but always in the same direction of needing guidance, needing external guidance and authority to tell us, who we are, what we are, how we are, and to tell us what to do, to tell us just about everything. And that is, it's not who we are. And so this is another thing, is that we're always in a hurry. A lot of us on this planet are in a hurry. We're always in a hurry. And then when we're, to us, when we think we're sedentary, and you're not doing anything, after a bit you get guilty. You start going, well, I better get going, or I better get something going, or I better, start doing something. Instead of taking that time when you're sedentary and going within and just being, you will discover more by just being than you ever would on a busy schedule. You ever notice on your schedule, one suggestion is that whatever you do during the course of the day, put it into a structure where you can appreciate your own activities into a mini day. So if you get up in the morning and you brush your teeth and you prepare yourself for the day, it's a mini day. If you go to the grocery store, it's a mini day. You do these different tasks and you group it into a mini day, and you find out at the end of the day, before you go to sleep, just exactly how many things you actually did do. Because if you ever thought that you go through the course of your day and you're literally saying, I don't feel like I got anything done. You ever said that to yourself? I don't feel like I've got anything done, but I've been running and running and running all day. I've been going here, doing this and doing that. Or I went to work and I don't feel like I really got anything done. And then you feel, for yourself, you almost feel like unaccomplished or something. The ego mind kicks in and you start feeling kind of like depleted. But if you look at it and you start identifying and say, okay, so this is a mini day, this is a mini day, this is a mini day, this is a mini day. Next thing you know, you've done 10, 15, 16 mini days. And then you have this rush feeling within your heart. And it's like, I really did do a lot today. And I feel good about what I did today. Because to me, I accomplished a lot today. Right? You see what we take for granted? We just go through the course. The movements is all we do. We just go through the movements. And day in and day out. And that's why so many of us get bored. And we get just kind of ho-hum type. Because we do the same thing every day, a day in and day out. Something that is a good practice is that whatever you do that you find yourself that you're doing over and over again during the course of your day, shift it up, change it every so often. If you're doing it one way, then do it the other way. It's like me, when I take a shower and I need to use a squeegee on the glass door, I'll go one pattern, say, and then I find myself doing the same pattern over and over again to get the water off the door so it won't water spot. And so I'll go one direction, and then I'll do one part one way, one part the other way. It might sound trivial, but it breaks it up. And it's not monotonous because you change things up. You do them a little differently. Maybe you do them this part first instead of this part last. Okay? And you don't get into that rut where it's the same old every single day. And we we're focusing on the now, and we're not focusing on the future, and we're not focusing on the past, and we're just focusing on the now. We're looking at things and saying, I'm going to do this a little differently. I'm going to do this way. Because I've been doing it this way, and I don't care to do that this way anymore. So I'm going to do it this way. Shake it up, mix it up. You'd be surprised. And you can continually shift and change things. And it really adds to your life experience. It really does. And when you know what you desire, what you really do know what you desire, in your heart's mind, and you intend that desire, and then you bring the thoughts into center stage, center perspective, that with those thoughts, you say, okay, I'm going to embrace this thought and turn it into reality. Because you know what the thought is, because you've just received it, and you like the way the thought is. So you bring the thought in, you embrace it, you turn it into reality. And when you do this, your intentions begin to become fulfilled. It's pretty nifty to go into that, to get into that kind of habit. So what you're really doing is you're designing each step of the way your life experience. Does that make sense? Rather than to try to convince us from external authority that we have no control over life, that life is just life, and that we can't design it or anything, but we can. We can design the activities within it for ourselves. What do we want to experience? How do we like to experience it? And even though our intents are clear, we don't know for sure how the outcome will be. And that's part of the uniqueness of the adventure. It's like crossing the river of void and going into the unknown. And when you go into the unknown, that's where all the possibilities, opportunities are just waiting for us. Have you ever done something that you didn't know what the outcome was going to be, and it was just phenomenal, the experience? And have you ever experienced things where you planned things, right? You planned things, but and it didn't quite work out, and then there were other times where you really didn't plan them. You just flew by the seat of your pants, and it was a phenomenal experience, and you say to yourself, wow, I wish things would go that way all the time. And of course they don't, because the ego mind interferes. But there are those times where we just stare, and we go into kind of an awakened meditation. We don't know that, but we stare, and everything around us becomes oblivious. It's gone. And we're staring at nothing. It's no different than when we don't plan and we experience things in a day or a week that are absolutely spectacular, and we would like to repeat that. We can. And it's because at that particular moment, in that particular space in our lives, everything is in balance. That's why it happens that way. You get a glimpse or a sip or taste of how you can be always. But we are not conscious enough to pick up that understanding, because that is a communication from the God within us through the heart mind. And we just let go, and everything flows, and we aren't stressed, and we just enjoy. And I know that most of us have experienced that at least once or twice, or maybe more. And we aren't pushing, and we aren't trying to force life or hurry life. We are just flowing with it, and it carries us. It literally carries us. And, you think a lot of the times that, how was I ever able to experience all this and still be here? We ask that to ourselves. A lot of us do. The reason is because the God within you carried you. Okay? Sometimes our God within us steps in to assist ever so lightly. We always have assistance. We are never on our own. We never have been. Because the collective consciousness, source creator, source creation, will carry us. And everything works in harmony, always has. The only disruption is when we fight it, is when we have a tug of war with it. Well, I want this to happen now, or I want this to be this way, and it's not. Why did this happen to me? And then when we understand that, why did this happen? The reason it happened is because the ego mind sent a thought to us, and we inadvertently embraced that thought without really knowing, and we turned it into a reality, and we created the situation that we experienced. The only way that we experience anything is by our direction, either conscious or not conscious. See? And so we don't. It gets a little hairy at times, because it's like, see, you're saying that I created this, but I wasn't consciously aware of creating it. That's exactly right. So this is why people say, well, life will throw you these little twisted turns. It doesn't throw them to us. We generate them, because we are the true masters. We really are. But we are in a void, a sleep, that we are not consciously aware of that. And it isn't from ego mind. It is from heart-mind confidence. And when we begin to embrace that and truly understand it, there will be no limits to what we can do. There never has been, but we put these limits on ourselves. This whole civilization, its perspective on itself, is totally wrong. So life, the river, carries us. And when we allow life to be as it is, or unfold as it does, that's when the river carries us. Instead of us trying to carry the river. So if you will, go to a place where you're not going to be interrupted, which I'm sure we all are. And the first thing that we want to do is relax our bodies. It is very important that we walk through life in a relaxed state, because then we're able to experience more. We're able to move more in depth, more in understanding. When we fight life, it's very difficult. We don't really learn as much as we do as we just flow with it in a relaxed state, with the body being in a relaxed state, and we just kind of go along and let the river take us and carry us. And we relax these bodies, and relaxing these bodies is very important. Now, what we want to do is to make sure that we're just floating. Now, how do we do that? Well, by relaxing the body, we let everything go. We surrender to the kingdom of God, to the God within us. We let go of things that we're dragging, things that we've accumulated in the last 24 hours, things that we carry with us for years, and they serve us no purpose at all. And we let it go. And we practice this. We practice letting it go. And as we do that, the body just kind of sinks and relaxes. It's at ease. And when the body is at ease and relaxed, we want to move into the now. And that just helps us even more. As we move into the now, only the now, we still the ego mind. We literally eliminate going into the past. We don't feel or are motivated to go into the future, because everything is going on in the now, and the now is all we have. The now contains the past, the present, and the future. In this very now, all of us are creating our futures. Things aren't random, as we have been told over and over again. They are created by us. And we have been dictated to over and over again. It basically states that, no, it's just random. It's crazy. So, knowing this about ourselves and embracing it empowers us with no restrictions or limitations. The only restrictions and limitations are the ones we put on ourselves. We don't care to go into the past, drag it into the future to create our future. It's not a negative, it's not a bad thing, but it's something that deters our adventure, our journey. It keeps us in a circle, repeating past, creating the future. That's why we change things up as much as we can. Every time you change things up, you learn more. Now, as we relax the body and we move into the now, we want to breathe. And we want to breath in through the nose, a nice, easy breath in through the nose, and we hold it for 3 seconds. And the frequencies of the 3 seconds are, I am love, I am light, I am. I am love, I am light, I am. I am love, I am light, I am. And then we breath out through the mouth. Nice, release, breath out through the mouth. And we want to do this at least 6 times while I'm talking. Now, obviously, we all know the reason that we do hold it as we breath in is to focus ourselves on the now. And the breath is in the now. It cannot be anything else. It's not yesterday or it's not tomorrow. It is the now. And a lot of the times we take our breath for granted and we shallow breathe, which is not good, which is reducing the oxygenation of our body. So as we take in the oxygen and breath in the now, whatever we're doing, if we feel like, I'm getting off track, I'm not now, I know I'm not, because I'm going into the past, and I'm incessantly looking into the future, it's easy to do. We all wander. But I'm going to put myself back in the now and say, I'm going to focus on my breathing. Only my breathing, only in the moment, only in the now. And so you snap back and you focus on exactly in that now, in that moment, what you are then doing. And you'll be amazed because all of this other stuff, this incessant chatter from the ego mind, subconscious mind, just absolutely blasting you, subsides. Because you're just focusing on the now. Washing your hands, lifting something, driving, walking. You're only focused on the now. So you relax the body, you move into the now, and you breathe. And as we breath in divine positive energy. This is the collective consciousness of this planet Earth Gaia, and it is the collective consciousness of the universe. It's source creation. And these messages are literally vibrational frequencies of the high frequencies that come in. They go in through our God and through the heart mind. And it's not voices, it's actually vibrational frequencies that we feel and we understand. Messages. And we don't need to push life. Pushing life backfires on us every time. Pushing life, hurrying, like we're going to run out of time, being incessantly frustrated, fearful, all of these things, anxiety, is when we push life. But when we don't push it, and we just go with it, and we have the confidence that we can create it step by step for ourselves, then it will carry us, just like the river carries us. And is it always the unknown? Most of the time it is the unknown. It is. Because we learn and we understand, because that's where everything is in the unknown. So we decide not to push life. We decide not to fight the current. We just decide that we're just going to flow. And we have all the confidence. We have no fear. We have no apprehension, because we know that the universe has our back, always will, and that everything that we do in the long run will be a joy. It will be appreciation. We will be in deep gratitude every step of the way. And we will be thankful for the experiences that we created. Now, when we breath out, we're breathing out our fear, our unknowing, the unknown. No, you don't want to do that. What if this happens? You know, you sure you want to do something where you really don't know what's going to happen or the outcome is going to be? Isn't that crazy? That's kind of stupid. You're playing with fire. This is all these thoughts, and they're just thoughts that the ego mind is shooting into you, and the subconscious mind is shooting into you, and you're being bombarded. No, yes, that's silly. I wouldn't do that, you know. Instead, you just say, I surrender to the God that I am, and I go with the flow. That's it. Well, people say, well, don't you ever plan? Sure, I plan. Yeah, a little bit here, a little bit there, but not to the point where it's obsessive. And then the doors open, and the floodgates flow, and we continue to move effortlessly through this life. And that's the way it's been designed by Source Creation, who gave us everything we need to guide our lives. Now we're in the heart mind, and we're with our kingdom of God within, the body, the temple. We're all together. We have a lot of those with us. We have the archangels, the cherubim, the seraphim, the archetypes, all of the angels. This is a civilization. They vibrate at a different frequency than we do. That's why we don't see them. And the things that have happened and the way we've been trained is to think that they are higher than us or better than us. It's silly. They're gods. We're gods. All source creations are gods. And there are trillions of them, and they've been with us since the beginning. And they have the highest frequency and the highest, deepest eternal love from it, the highest, deepest eternal love, and the highest, deepest gratitudes. And they can take up space in one area, small, because of their frequency, the density, the dimension. And so thousands can surround us. One of us can be surrounded by thousands. It's blissful, joyful, peaceful. And the Ascended Masters, Kuan Yin, Maitreya, Buddha, Lakshmi, Ganesh, Gaia, Saint Germain, Sananda Jesus, Moria, Abundantia, Pell, Thought, many, many, many more. They've mastered many different avenues of life experience. And they've mastered ascension. They've ascended out of physical form and hold their God form. We have ascended into physical form to experience. That's the difference. We are mastering. They have mastered. That's the difference. Are they any better, more powerful? No. None whatsoever. So, they are of the highest, deepest, eternal love from the highest, deepest, eternal love and the highest and deepest gratitudes. And feel it. It isn't a figment. It is a reality. We are all together in this now, in forming this meditation in this circle of light. And so we all come together, and arm in arm, hand in hand, our gods are with each other. We form a circle of light, a halo around the equator of this planet Earth, Gaia, who is resting, by the way. And as we do this, we emit a brilliance, a divinity, a perfection of creation, the light of source creation, the light of the kingdom of God within each and every one of us. We are the light. We are not the Luciferian light. We are the light of source creation. And this light of source creation gives such a brilliant light off because of the fact it's at such a high frequency. A humanoid cannot view the light because it is so brilliant, bright, with physical eyes. You feel it. And we literally bathe, flood, saturate this planet and all of us in this field, in this brilliance, in this divinity. And we literally move. We begin to levitate ourselves above the planet. And we move effortlessly outside the body. And we float above the body, above the head. This is where the everlasting flow of source creation energy frequency flows through us, around us, everywhere. And so arm in arm, hand in hand, we are compelled to seek out, to call out to other source creations, other brothers and sisters, other kingdoms of gods. And these are all the light energy beings and all that there is, ever has been, ever will be, ever beyond and forever. And only those who vibrate at the high frequencies of deep eternal love, from deep eternal love, the highest and deepest gratitudes can be with us. If they are low frequency, they cannot hold their form with us. They're in full compassion, non-judgment, non-ego, non-negativity, stillness of mind, gentleness, kindness, peace, joy, bliss, generosity, humbleness, tranquility, benevolence. And they come in the Guga plexus. They come 360 degrees. They come from different universes. They fill thousands of universes. And they come arm in arm, hand in hand. They join us in this now, in this circle of light, this meditation. Their gods with our gods with theirs. They're of the highest of deepest, deepest, deepest gratitudes, and we are of the highest of deepest, deepest, deepest gratitudes. And we are all one. And we are all love, and our God light energy is absolutely everywhere. We call upon the inhabitants of inner earth, hollow earth, Lagarta, beneath earth, all of these civilizations, there are many. And only those who are of the highest, deepest eternal love, from the highest, deepest eternal love, can join us in this meditation, in this now, in this circle of light. They're in full compassion and non-judgment, non-ego, non-negativity, stillness of mind, gentleness, kindness, generosity, humbleness, joy, bliss, peace, tranquility, benevolence. They come arm in arm, hand in hand, in the billions, and they join us in this meditation, in this now, in this circle of light. They are gods with our gods with theirs. They are of the highest, of deepest, deepest, deepest gratitudes. We are of the highest, of deepest, deepest, deepest gratitudes, and we are all one. And we are all love, and our God-light energy is absolutely everywhere. We call upon all of the galactics, off-worlders, the Sirians, the Arcturians, the Andromedans, the Pleiadians, and many, many, many more. And only those who are of the highest, deepest, eternal love from the highest, deepest, eternal love and the highest and deepest gratitudes can join us in this meditation, in this now, in this circle of light. They're in full compassion and non-judgment, non-ego, non-negativity, stillness of mind. They are in joy, bliss, peace, gentleness, kindness, generosity, humbleness, tranquility, and benevolence. And they come. And they have been assisting us in our evolution, in our enlightenment, in our ascension, freeing ourselves from our own self-imposed bondage and slavery. And arm in arm, hand in hand, they join us in this circle of light, in this meditation, in this now. They are gods with our gods with theirs. They are of the highest, of deepest, deepest, deepest gratitudes. And we are of the highest, of deepest, deepest, deepest gratitudes. And we are all one. We are all love. And our God-light energy is absolutely everywhere. We call upon our loved ones, all of those who have ascended out of body in this lifetime and all lifetimes that we've inhabited, and only those who vibrate at the highest frequency of the highest, deepest, eternal love from the highest, deepest, eternal love and the highest of deepest gratitudes can join us in this meditation, in this now, in this circle of light. They're in full compassion and non-judgment, non-ego, non-negativity, stillness of mind, joy, peace, bliss, gentleness, kindness, generosity, humbleness, tranquility, benevolence. And they come arm in arm, hand in hand. They join us in this meditation, in this now, in this circle of light. They're gods with our gods with theirs. They are of the highest, of deepest, deepest, deepest gratitudes. We are of the highest, of deepest, deepest, deepest gratitudes. And we are all one. And we are all love. And our God-light energy is absolutely everywhere. We call upon all of the light energy beings who have decided to be housed in the following forms on and above and below this planet and this now in this circle of light, in this meditation. They're in full compassion and non-judgment, non-ego, non-negativity, stillness of mind, in gentleness, kindness, generosity, and humbleness, in joy, in peace, in bliss, in tranquility, in benevolence. And they come in the trillions. Fairies, the sprites, the elves, the gnomes, the dwarves, the trees, the elementals, earth, air, water, fire, the mermaid, the dolphin, the whale, the pegasus, the unicorn, the centaur, the minotaur, and many, many, many more in shapes, sizes, configurations, forms, colors of which we have never seen before. Their gods with our gods with theirs. They are of the highest of deepest, deepest, deepest gratitudes. We are of the highest of deepest, deepest, deepest gratitudes, and we are all one. And we are all love. And our God light energy is in all that there is, ever has been, ever will be, ever, beyond, and forever. Saturating and lifting the very fabric of source creation and the highest, deepest, eternal love from the highest, deepest, eternal love and the highest of deepest, deepest, deepest gratitudes. It is everywhere. It is all throughout the universe. In all universes, in all creation. It is source creation. We look up and we see our meditative sphere. It sets center circle. This sphere we all created. This sphere holds all of our meditations in perpetual motions. And there are literally hundreds and hundreds and hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of meditations. And this sphere can be seen, heard, and felt in all that there is, ever has been, ever will be, ever, beyond, and forever. And we feel it as it floods our physical bodies. From head to toe, inside and out, our God, the kingdom of God, our etheric, everything. And it fills us and identifies with the love that we are, with the love that it is. And we aren't in a hurry, and we aren't pushing, and we aren't sporadic, and we aren't stressed. It all fades away. We are literally flooded and saturated with the highest and deepest eternal love. And the highest of deepest, deepest, deepest gratitudes. And we are compelled to flow effortlessly. We are not in a hurry. We are not stressed. We are at ease. We look down upon this planet and we see all the life, all of our brothers and sisters, all of source creation. And we intend for all of us to continually experience the flooding and saturation of the love that we are, of the non-pushing and non-rushing, of just allowing the river to carry us, and effortlessly experience the bliss and the joy that we are, the peace, tranquility, and benevolence that we are, and not fight against the current of this life, but to enrich it and to consciously create our lives as we flow downstream, to pick and choose. We are all love, and we are all one. And our God light energy is in all that there is, ever has been, ever will be, ever, beyond, and forever. I join you in the meditation and return to close us out. rush, and to just allow the river to carry you, and not to be in a hurry or stress, and to be gentle and kind and non-negative, non-ego, and just flow. You'll find the more that you're able to do this on a daily basis, the more things will just be spectacular. Take it with you the rest of the day into the evening and night, into the following morning, and enjoy the God that you are, that all of us are. We will be back here Saturday, January 18th, 2020, 3 p.m. Eastern.